Okay. Welcome to Photomikes Garage. Today we're going on a night run with the FRS with my Phantom Supercharger to see how that makes, how that adds power to this car and what it's like to drive a car with an electric supercharger. First thing I do every time I get in this car is to turn the traction control off. In this car, the traction control is very obtrusive, and even with the supercharger, it doesn't really have that much power, so you don't really have to worry about doing big, huge fishtails. Even when you have full power put on, it's usually quite a controllable car. So it's better to have traction control off under most circumstances for me. So, I already felt a little bit of boost there. My voltage gauge has gone from 28, ooh, nice cars, from 28.6 to 28.3. Now, one thing I can say is that the FRS is a pretty quiet car most of the time. And that's one of the problems I'm having right now, is that I would like this car to have a little more character. I've just begun to realize over the last few years how the sound that a car makes adds so much more to the enjoyment that you can get from a car. The beautiful sound of a V8 motor, the sound of a supercharger, or a Ferrari, a Lamborghini. These things, I mean, half the reason why you're buying these cars is just for the sound, let alone the power. Now the FRS has a 4-cylinder engine. It's not that easy to make a 4-cylinder, a flat 4 on top of that, to make that sound really good. If you like the Subaru WRX flat boxer sound, that can easily be achieved, but I personally don't like that sound. I think it sounds like the motor is broken every time I hear something like that go by. So I want something that sounds better, a deeper sound, something that, but it's not too loud, you know? I mean, you still gotta live in the real world, so you need to have something that is civilized a little bit. That's not civilized. See, that doesn't sound good to me. So just being loud is not good enough. I want something that is louder than what I have, but sounds better. Perhaps a deeper sound. Is that possible? Can I get that? I don't know. So that's my next step, is to maybe get an exhaust system, just a catback exhaust system. I've already got the headers installed, and I know the horsepower increase will be negligible. Okay. Yeah, like what I was saying, I know I won't get a great deal of horsepower, but if I get 5 or 6 more horsepower because of a catback exhaust, I would actually be happy with that. In a car this light, you can actually feel that. This car only weighs around 2,700 pounds. But as an everyday driving car, which is what I use, this is my everyday, it is a great car. Good gas mileage. Good gas mileage. Easy to drive, nice light clutch, so even if you're stuck in stop and go traffic, not too bad. Shifts easy. On cold mornings, the shifter's a little hard to get into second gear, but other than that, it shifts really easy. Now, for a long time I was thinking that I would not get an aftermarket exhaust, because after all, you don't get a huge amount of power with a catback exhaust. But I really want more better sound. More performance. And of course, everyone knows that a car that makes a lot of noise can be obnoxious, but also a car that makes noise is noticed. It's actually even a safety feature, you could say. I mean, it could be argued that. I know that motorcyclists are always saying that loud pipes, why is this guy in my lane? Why is this guy in my lane? Okay. I think Vancouver has maybe the worst drivers in Canada. We have the most supercars in Canada, but we also have the worst drivers in Canada as well. So, yeah, I'm looking for an exhaust, so anybody's got ideas of what kind of catback I can get that will sound louder, but perhaps a deeper sound, something that's pleasant to the ears as much as possible, and hopefully not too expensive. I haven't got a great deal of money to put out on a catback exhaust, and so there we go. I want to do that. So when I first got this car, I was very excited. This was a great car to get for a Christmas present. That's what I got. I got it as a Christmas present. I was very excited to get this car for lots of good reasons. I think it's a beautiful car. It's a unique car in that it's a small 4-cylinder rear-wheel drive performance vehicle. There just hasn't been very many of those recently. And unlike a lot of other performance cars, this car is low to the ground, it's lightweight, it's not blocky, heavy looking. I like that. I like all those things, right? So it's somewhat practical. It fits 4 people. The rear seats fold down for storage capability, for hauling things. It's actually quite a great car. So I modified the car when I first got it with a few minor modifications. I've never done anything over the top. Lightweight crank pulley, that made a difference. And of course the biggest thing that I purchased for the car so far has been the Phantom electric supercharger, which I've made a number of videos to do with that, explaining how that works. And that's given me a little bit of a power increase. Pretty happy with that. But power corrupts, and I want more power. So I'm thinking of going with a regular supercharger system in order to get more power. Other modifications I've made when I first got this car, I got the Avest side mirrors with the turn indicators in the mirror covers. Got that. Wheel cap covers, some carbon pieces on the interior, a different shift knob, crystal eye tail lights, a 4th brake light, flashing brake light at the bottom there, and LED lights all the way around, which with HIDs. Also got an air horn for the horn, which I think you might have heard before, and which gives this car more authority. And there's a few other small modifications I did, but that's about it. I lowered the car 1 inch, which made a huge difference. I put on 1-inch rear spacers at the rear, which sort of brought the track out and makes the car look more planted, which is one thing about a stock FRS, is that the gap in the wheel arch is way too high, and also the wheels need to be out more towards the corners of the car to make it look more sporty. The lowering springs I put on this car were Eibach Pro Kits, which I have to say is probably one of the best lowering springs you can get for the money, especially if you want a reasonable amount of lowering. Like, I only wanted 1 inch because I don't want to scrape. I got to drive this car every day, and it did make a big visual difference. Even 1 inch makes a difference. But doesn't really change the ride characteristics that much. It's slightly stiffer. It still handles fantastic. So then I stopped, well, I sort of slowed down my modifications to the car. I've got the electric supercharger. I've been running that, doing videos on that, but now I'd like to do a few more modifications, things that I've wanted to do but didn't get quite around to it. I want to get a rear lit spoiler. I've always wanted one. I've never been happy with any ones that were available on the aftermarket, looking for something a little different, but I definitely want to get one. And it needs to be my color, Firestorm Red. So I'm looking to get that in the near future. As I already mentioned, I want to get a catback exhaust system just to add a little more noise to this car, a little more enjoyment. And of course, as I also mentioned, a regular supercharger may be in my future. I'm sort of leaning towards the supercharger instead of the turbocharger idea because I intend to install it myself. Supercharger might be a little bit easier that way. I love the idea of superchargers. I know a turbocharger is the ultimate way to get more power, but I'm not going to rebuild the motor. I'm not going to build the motor up at all. It's still going to be the stock motor, so I can only run maybe a max of 10 psi, and so a supercharger is good for that. I might try rolling into it. I got a little bit of space in front of me now, and you'll see. Okay, so I'm at 3600, and I'm rolling into it. So that was in 5th gear, and my voltage meter went down to the 26 volts, and now it's back up to 28.2. So it comes up to 28.2 very fast. The last little bit of recharging does take a while. Now, here's something that's going to sound kind of weird. I kind of want another car. I'm going to keep this car. I really love this car. I don't want to sell it. I've had it for 4 years. I don't really want to sell it. But I'm looking at a different type of car. A family vehicle. A 4-door car. With some capacity. Can carry 5 people. But something that will give me a thrill. Now, what kind of 4-door car can give me a thrill? Well, there's lots of choices actually that can give you a thrill. There's an Evo that could do it. That will give you a thrill, and that comes with 4 doors. There's also Subaru WRX. That's a turbocharged 4-cylinder. That can give you a thrill as well. 4 doors, practical, pretty good car. But how about something different? How about a Hellcat? Yeah, how about a Hellcat? 5 people, which I need. I need to be able to fit 5 people. So that eliminates some of the cars I just mentioned. Oh, look at this. Christmas has come to the auto mall. This is nice. I don't know if you can see this, but this is nice. Okay. So you might be saying, what am I doing at an auto mall? What am I doing at an auto mall? Well, you know, I'm always looking for new cars. Like most of us, I can't really afford new cars all the time. Pretty happy with what I got, to be honest. I've got the FRS. I've got an older air-cooled Porsche 911. I also have an old muscle car, 1973 Z28, which I have a couple of videos of those other cars that I put out. But I do like modern cars for their reliability, the convenience, yada yada, you know how it is. So what would be nice? Well, look at that. How about a Corvette? How about a Corvette? Yeah, look at that yellow Corvette. That would be nice, right? What else would be nice? Yeah, like I said, a Hellcat. A Hellcat might be nice. Oh, there's lots of great cars. Audi of Richmond. There's lots of nice cars in there. What about a Hellcat for Christmas? That'd be all right. A Jaguar. Got some nice cars around here. I'd love a Jaguar F-Type. That would be really cool. Let's go around the roundabout. Acura. There's not too much excitement in Acura for me, unfortunately. I mean, the new NSX is an awesome car. I would love to have one of those. That's kind of expensive. But if we're talking about something that is semi-affordable, then you're kind of limited what you can get. A Hellcat, while not really cheap, I can't really call that affordable, but it's a lot less than say an NSX. And I just thought I'd stop at the Chrysler dealership just to have a look around, because I've lately become obsessed with these cars. So I know it's really different from the car I'm driving right now, but okay, so this is, I assume this is Richmond Chrysler, and they have chargers on the lot. This is your base charger. That's a pretty big car. This is an RT. Don't know if I'd want orange. These are pretty big cars, but they got a lot of room inside. But yeah, this is more like it. This is more like it. I love this blue color on this car. And you can tell from the hood scoop that this is a performance car, but it's not a Hellcat, that's for sure. It's an RT, so it's like a step up. And I do like the way the hood scoop looks there. I like the front end of these cars quite a bit. Chrome wheels, that's not going to do it nowadays. That's not going to do it nowadays. Plus you have chargers, which also have a lot of room in them. And see how big these cars are. Wow. This is an RT. And these are really big cars. I don't think they're going to have a Hellcat. They got some nice Chargers and Challengers here. Man, these cars look, they're kind of fat. They're good looking, but fat. Ooh, this one's nice. 392 Hemi. There you go. Look at that shaker. 392 Hemi. I don't see any price tags on any of these cars. Oh, this one's a little, it's got the little Scat Pack symbol, which is, I guess that's a Super B. Yeah. It's got shaker stitching in the seats. Someone's already written on this car. I don't know why they do that. This car is pretty dirty. Well, of course, if they had a Hellcat, it would definitely be in the showroom. No doubt about it. And of course, everything's closed down, so won't be able to go inside the showroom, but we can look around, see what we can see. Oh, there you go. It's too bad it's so dark here. Nobody can see this. This is a Hellcat. I found one. Just sitting outside. Nice. But you can't really see it in the video, can you? I really should do these kind of videos during the day. I don't know why I'm always doing videos at nighttime when no one can see anything. Not only is it dark here, this is also a black car. Basically the same as that Charger we looked at in the light, but it has so much more evil presence, you might say. Just look at that front end. It does have a hood scoop with 2 air extractors right here. There's a hood scoop. And the grill is different from regular Chargers. Yeah, the grill is different from regular Chargers. And of course it has huge wheels and tires and the Brembo brakes, which of course you can't see. And it's got a ton of room. Nice big spoiler on the back. Yeah, this would be a nice car to have. Okay, I actually went back and got a small light just so we could see this Hellcat a little bit better. It's still not not really good lighting, but shows you a bit more. Okay, so this one has the Pirelli P0s, and they are 275/40 20s. That's a huge tire, but from what I hear, still not big enough to really hold the power of this car. Gigantic Brembo brakes with slotted steel rotors. Man, that looks great. Looks great. And SRT hubcaps. Nice. And this is what you want to see. Nice little Hellcat emblem. Wow. And I've heard that people complain that for such a large car, it has very small side mirrors, and they look pretty well regular size, maybe a little small for a car this big. As you can see, it's got lane changing indicators on the side. And this car, because you can't see, this car's got a lot of room inside. A lot of room. And this one in particular has the red seat belts. Very nice. And not too bad. Lots of room in these cars. They look really... So room for 5, right? This car does... Yep, it does seat 5 people. One of the best things about any Charger, but especially the Hellcat Charger, is the rear end. The way they have the lights set up, nice LED lighting system. See the vents at the back, they look like they're functional vents at the back, and nice exhaust system, which is different from the other Chargers. It's round tailpipes, backup camera, really nice. I think they've really done a good job with the spoiler on the trunk lid. It's pretty big, but not too big. It's nicely shaped to the car. Trunk looks like it would be huge. This is the rear brakes. Again, we have Bremos in the back. A little bit smaller than the front, but still really big, really wide tires. And yeah, this is just this car is pretty dirty. They really need to clean this car up. I can tell you that much. And there we have the SRT steering wheel. It's a flat bottom steering wheel, and nice 7-inch display screen in the center of the dash. Red dials for the gauges, and this one has got a sunroof, which I would definitely like to have. So there's really nothing much more evil looking than a black Hellcat. Really not much more that you could want than a black Hellcat. We're close to the airport, so we got planes going by. Yeah, no, I think I want this car, but will it fit in my garage? I'm not sure. I've already got my Camaro in there, so I don't know if I can fit this car in there at all. It's pretty big. look underneath and see the big differential in the back with aluminum fins. Really large pipes at the back. Exhaust pipes are huge. This car is pretty low to the ground too. And the wheels, there's not that much gap. It's not really that much gap, considering it's not been lowered. That's the same kind of gap as I have on my FRS now that I've lowered it 1 inch. That's not bad. That's at the front. Now at the back we got quite a bit more gap. You could definitely lower it. Definitely could use some lowering at the back. You got at least a 2.5, 3 inch gap right there. But in the front it looks good. And the front spoiler sticks out quite a bit, so I think you'd have to be pretty careful with watching for curbs. It could be lowered, yeah, a little bit. I don't think it's going to scrape. Okay, let's see what's in the showroom, if anything. So if you want if you're looking for a Challenger Hellcat, there's one in the showroom right now. But I'm more in the market for the Charger. I just think it's badass to have a 4-door car that weighs 4,500 pounds. That's as much as pickup trucks used to be. That can, with drag radials, get into the 10s in the quarter mile, do a sub 4 second 0 to 60 and go over 200 miles per hour. And it looks badass. It looks good too. Wow. Yeah, if there is a way that I can find out how to get this car, if there is a way that I can get this car, I'm going to get this car. Now, let's see if they have anything else that I would like to own on their lot. Ooh, as a matter of fact, they do. BRZ in a beautiful blue, a Smurf blue color. This is, I believe, a special edition, $28,998. It is a 2016, which BRZ blue, 4,500. So it's used, but just lightly used. You got stitching in the seats, which is really nice. Blue stitching. This is a special edition for sure. Blue stitching everywhere. Upgraded stereo system. Otherwise, looks a lot like what I drive, of course. I love this blue color. This car is still shiny. Mine's not looking as shiny anymore. Just check out that. That looks nice. It's got the same exhaust pipes as what I have on my car, but they don't stick out very much. They don't stick out very much at all, which sort of reduces the effectiveness. You can't even see them, really. That's for safety regulations, if you can believe it, in North America. The Japanese cars, our world spec cars, the exhaust pipes stick out more, so you can see them. And they look, the exhaust tips look really good if you could see them, but as you can see, they're all hidden back behind the plastic. Not too cool. And you've got the spoiler, which personally I don't like it that much. I'm not a fan of this particular spoiler. I am a fan of these wheels. These are basically the same wheel as what I have, except completely metallic black. There's no polished sections at all, no metal sections at all. Brakes are the same. Oh, this is interesting. Black mirror covers. And a black side blade. I just love that color. That looks really good. And here's what I'm talking about. This is the stock tire, stock wheel combo. You can see how much of a gap you got here. That's a pretty big gap. That's why you have to lower this car. Yeah. And as we go to the back, you can see how the rear wheel is sort of sunken in. And again, a huge gap. Yeah. It's one of those cars where it's almost mandatory to lower the car. Have to do it. But I'd say that's a deal. 2016, with very little mileage, 28,000 for a BRZ. I paid 27,000 for my FRS brand new in 2013. So I'd say this is a good deal. One final look at the Hellcat. One final look. And give me a thumbs up if you think a Hellcat is the car to get for a practical 4-door family vehicle. Okay, this is Photomike. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.